It's Sunday. You know what we do on Sundays. It's the album review club. You know we gotta get the bros. Subscribe to that on YouTube. We got another banger. It's Mental Health Month in the club. Oh, it's big motherfucker. I ain't did an intro for you yet, cause you always take your own intro. Let me get one off real quick.
What you mean? What you mean? Hold on.
Man, first to the club today.
It's food. It's food. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wish I could say more, but I don't have to. It's food. Oh no. It's also 40.
Also in the
So,
you ain't sick this week.
so we talking more than usual.
Y'all heard that on this beautiful Sunday afternoon for the
Oh,
first. Y'all prayers work. 40 ain't sick no more. Look at him.
Boom.
Look at him.
I'm
So again,
tired.
let's all pray that he do something. Never mind.
I'll be honest
Just
with you.
pray for
Or
him.
not. Or not. Some people do better with adversity. I want y'all to pray that all the obstacles go to only 40 and specifically 40. And we'll see how he responds next week.
You know.
This is true.
You
I hope that you have the most difficult week of your life.
I have no rebuttal, man. Today was a good day. I ain't gonna lie. What's up, Cheddar?
Hey, hold on,
What's happening, man?
hold on. Because the day's not over. It can always go better.
This ain't my album to review, so I don't have to worry about no. Can't wait on this parade. that,
You
that
know
looks
the thing.
good today.
Next Sunday gonna be very, very different.
I
But we'll jump into that later. Challenge this motherfucker.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Cheddar. And today's episode is brought to you by ketchup chips straight from north of the border.
Ooh,
Hey,
Just want to make that little announcement.
a real review for them chips. They trash.
You a
100%
hater.
trash.
You a hater. They're basically like salt and vinegar chips with a hint of tomato. You know what I mean? These things fire.
It's trash.
These is hater.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. With the way you just described them, that's still ass.
It's, it's,
Anything that
I
it's
look.
like
I've
I got
never
excited.
heard
I
of
thought they
anything
were too spicy.
besides ketchup, I've never heard of anything being like, "Hey man, just add a little bit of tomato to it, and it'll be fantastic." No, it's like it never works out.
Put some ketchup on that.
Listen, whenever you get all that salt and pork out of y'all southern veins, we'll try these
Wow.
chips from up north.
bro, you just said vinegar chips with ketchup.
Salt and vinegar ketchup. Huh? I
But
I'm telling you, man,
mean,
they're fire.
I
That's one of those Canadian things where it's just like, oh, that's what y'all do.
Hello?
Okay. See, I missed when the stereotype for Canadians was that
I
all
heard you.
y'all did was use maple syrup on
I mean, we do.
everything. I missed
People
that.
say
Now
it's
you come,
also delicious.
hey man, you guys like salt and vinegar, right? What can you add it to? It's like, no, thank you. I don't want that.
hey, but before we jump into it, does anybody got any shout outs for anybody?
Shout out to the super duper click.
I got one. Give me room. Give me room.
Bro, come on now. Come on.
I just want to give
Come
a
on.
shout out. I also want to give a shout out to David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers. I've been a Panthers fan basically my whole life, and we've had bad seasons before. But it's like it's a different type of season when you're getting blown out by the good teams and the bad teams. When you're getting blown out by people when they have their starting quarterback and when they don't have their starting quarterback. I looked at the score today, and within like 4 minutes, it was like 14-0. I was like, there we go. There we go. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Now when I tune into Carolina Panthers games, I expect to lose. So I just want to give a shout out to David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers for being the worst franchise in the National Football League. And I know what some of y'all are going to say. Hey, man, at least you guys have one win. There are other teams with one win. It don't look like this. It don't feel like this. It don't look like this. We go into every game, it's a real possibility. We could lose every single game. Let's go. So I just want to give a quick shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Keep disappointing me, man. Go ahead. Let's get popping.
One day you'll get some positive results from that team. One day. Not right now. Hey, shout out to the Packers though, beating the Texans. That was good. And they went wore the all white. Go ahead with it. Jordan Love's throwing interceptions. What?
Shout out to the football players that are playing football because I don't really watch football. So.
Oh, just let everybody know, in case y'all didn't know, he's Canadian. They don't have football there. They have what's
I
it like?
We do have
You
football.
guys have like creative dance, right?
That's Australia. That's actually Australia. That's not Canada. That's Australia. Shout out to Razor.
Canada, Australia, a little bit of a temperature difference. Everything else is the same. All right, man. I'm gonna pass off to Chedda.
Well,
but
Chedda, take it from there.
Like always, and because of the album, shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus.
Shout out to Jesus. For what it's worth, that wasn't actually Jesus. That was Super Duper Jesus, his tour manager. But anyway, just later.
A cheddar bomb that no one probably cared about. But
shout out to the Super Duper crew, man.
is that really what it is? They call Super Duper Crew?
Yeah. Most of them, I think all of them have super duper names. Like the super duper Brick, who's like a big produces a lot of this stuff. There's super duper Kyle. There's super duper Ugly, who's Kyle's brother. There's super duper Jesus, his tour manager. There's a couple other super dupers, but I don't remember their names.
There's a flag on the plate. Shout out to K-Pot 62. We got Unk up in the chat. Some love. Unk up in the building. Shout out to him. That's 40 Uncle.
Yeah, I nearly got to be a fan of the Cowboys, but that's not happening this year. As soon as they gave Dak that extra contract, I was like, and we're good. I don't need to pretend this ain't gonna go.
All right, but this week we did Smile by Kyle. This is a quick teller tape, so I can get out of the way and let Chedda, kind of run the show for his super duper episode. But it was released October 2nd in 2015. It's Kyle's second mixtape, and it peaked at number 76 on the top 200. Chedda, it's on you.
Yeah, man. So like, I got into Kyle real big back in the day, man. I kind of like the first song I heard was "Remember Me." Like it was like because I was big on Chance, right? So like, and his style is very similar to how Chance was back at that time. And I remember when I heard that song, like I saw some comment wherever it was posted, and it was like Kyle kind of sounds like Chance with like a little lift, and I was like, you know what? It does. This is about right. So I went through, kind of looked back on his discography. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of positive songs, which is why I liked him, which is why I picked him for this mental health month pick of the week. Like there's a lot of positivity in his songs. His songs are all like upbeat, hyper. You know what I mean? Um, it's like you listen to some of his songs. It's like how can you put on a frowny face? You can't do anything but smile. You know.
Oh my
But
god!
yeah, I like Kyle a lot, man. I like the fact that he's not afraid to just make tracks like these. Like you don't make a lot of rappers that'll make a lot of anime superhero references and just have like Bobby vibes, man. So that's my tell to say. But Fullo, what do you think about this album, man?
Okay, so first of all, it's about what we remember about this
Oh,
album, not what we think.
what do you remember about it? Well, you probably my thing is I don't think anybody really heard this album because I don't feel like most people's introduction to Kyle was I Spy. I feel like I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Okay,
But if you
so
have any
here's
experience,
the deal.
let me know.
No, you're not wrong. I had heard Super Duper Hero and I had heard I heard "Don't Want to Fall in Love," but I didn't know that was Kyle. I thought it was I thought it was the woman that was singing on the track. I thought it was her song, and Kyle was just kind of up there somehow.
I mean, to be fair, they sampled her song.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then I heard really, yeah. So long story short, I haven't been actively listening to Kyle, but I got introduced to Kyle with like I Spy, just like the rest of the world. That was like 2016. Thought it was kind of dope. Downloaded like 2 albums after that. And I've been keeping like tabs on him. Not like I'm like an active listener, but I've been keeping like tabs on him because I do think he's one of those guys that like I don't listen to music a lot, but he can rap. Like this is one of those situations where it's just like, oh well, I don't really know if he can. No, he's extremely talented. I think that he is. This is an album that really, really shows off what he does well. That lane that he's in, there's not like a lot of people who can be in that lane without being corny. And he sometimes being corny kind of works for some people. And at this point in time for Kyle, it was working for him. Like he was kind of corny, kind of nerdy, but it was like kind of a shtick, and it worked. So you know what I'm saying? I was excited when you first brought this album up. I was just like, all right, guys, let's go back and listen to whatever Chedda thought Kyle. When Chedda thought Kyle was at his best, and you know, I wasn't too disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give the whole thing away, but I wasn't too disappointed in what I heard this week.
Because I mean, I will say, like, we kind of talked about this off live or whatever. Because like his style dramatically changed shortly after this album. It's like, I said a little bit about this last week too. The Super Duper crew sort of kind of broke up. They're not as really as together as they were, and like that was a big part of a lot of his music style, and even the show. Because their shows, they used to have hype shows where they go out. They had like a dance routine that is, like he mentioned in one of the songs, doing backflip off stages. They were literally like tossing each other, doing backflips off stages, and like they had like a choreographed dance routine that they did and everything. And the shows were like really super hype, super duper hype, super duper loud. You know what I mean? But it was just interesting how his style changed dramatically shortly after this album or mixtape, whatever that was. But yeah, Justin, 40, what you think?
Hey,
What's your experience with Kyle in this album?
I Spy, man. That's that what is it, SoundCloud rapper kind of mentality where you get some type of like really funky melody that you don't normally hear. You get like some rappers that are like they're just expressive, like their lyrics, their vocal range, like they're just. It sounds like anytime they're rapping, they're just smiling the whole time, right? It's not like they're trying to pick up a girl, like they're trying to shoot game, like every time. And you're just like, all right, they're just having fun. They're just if they get turned down, they're gonna go back to their friends, like, man, I tried, and then everyone's gonna laugh about it. So I I never like gave Kyle his props because as Fuller said, Kyle actually can rap. Like you can when you start to really like break some of it down, you're like, all right, this dude isn't like some cats during this time frame would have a couple bars here and there, and then you like would check them out, and you're like, oh, that was it. That was everything they wrote ever. But no, Kyle can do it. So I mean, like my impression of this album was I didn't really know where to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't listen to him like that, but I knew the people that were around him, right? Mm-hmm. So it was one of those things of like hearing it for the first time. It's a lot of like surprise, a lot of not surprise. It's weird. It's like I didn't know how to feel at first, and then I started to develop opinion like after a couple listens. So that's kind of where I was at. But I'll see if Pope has anything to add to that. I don't know if have you listened to it like that, man.
My introduction to Kyle was Seizure Boy. And what was the name of the movie? In the after party. That was my introduction to Kyle. And you know, Kofi listening to him, I guess he was listening to him by the like, I'm pretty sure Kofi probably threw a song in rotation. So I know of the singles. You know, I don't follow him where I've listened to album after album, but I can probably give you a single or two. So I rocks with Kyle. He ain't too bad. I feel like he feels like a Lil Dicky Drake type mix. And that's what I was getting from I love Lil Dicky. You know, Drake is Drake, so you know, I'm okay with all that. So, you know, ain't nothing too bad from Kyle. I don't know if this gave enough attention to me where I'm like, oh man, let me go listen to the whole bunch of albums that he's also made already after this to see how it goes. I might just stick with the singles, but I mean, that's what it was for me.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I feel like this is peak Kyle. Like his first album, there's a lot of or first mixtape. I feel like there's a lot of songs where either the instrumentals drag on too. Oh, for real? Okay, what's your flag? What's your flag?
Man, this was his second mixtape, and he's talking about this is peak.
Only because he dramatically changes up his style. Like I said, he low key is trying to become like an R&B artist now at this point, where it's like I feel like his bars, or the lane that he is, where he's like making these songs about, where it's all like I don't know, just fun songs. It's like he got out of that lane shortly after getting into it. I Spy took him to like the top of the charts where everyone was like checking him, and I guess the pressure from that made him want to switch up his style and become a little bit more mature. Where it's like he should have just stayed with this jokey, somewhat serious rap stuff. I don't know. He just stayed in his lane.
I mean, you gotta give people room to grow though. Like I like where he is right now. Now let's be clear. Definitely, I know what you're talking about because I listened to those two albums from like 2017 to like 2021. Definitely had a period where he was like, I don't really know what my sound's about to be right now. But
Yeah,
this R&B lane that he's found like over the past like 6, 7, 8 months, like it's solid. Like he has a song with Hit Boy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he has a song with Hit Boy. It's fire, and it's called Dirty. Thought was
Dirty's fire.
fire. It was so good. This is no shade to Kyle. It was so good. I was like, this is made by Kyle. I was like, yo, this is pretty fucking solid. So relax. You know what I'm saying? Give people room to grow.
Well,
All
I
right,
would say
man.
that last
Cheddar,
album, huh? I
we
was.
gotta start the
Oh
review.
yeah,
Fool, we 20 minutes
that's fair.
in.
That's fair. We do gotta get this thing cooking. So I'll go ahead and start off with some of the highlights I had from this album. Um, Don't Want to Fall in Love was a huge highlight for me. That song was, I think, like a had major replay value for me for the longest time. It's probably one of the main reasons I picked this album. Is I was like, that's my favorite Kyle song. Almost hands down.
Hold
That Endless Summer Symphony was another fire one. Summertime Soul was another fire one for me. And having all three of those songs kind of back to back to back was like, okay, this man Kyle's in his bag right now, cooking. Remember Me, because that was like my introduction to Kyle, low key. So that one was on the top one for me. And the Super Duper Hero was another peak for me. And honestly, okay, I gotta go and say the fourth as his intro. I feel like because that lets you know what he's all about. It's like this is Kyle. He's coming here with some heavy Star Wars references, and he's here to do his thing. He doesn't give a fuck what you think about what he's doing. He's just gonna do pew 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 all over the track. It doesn't matter. He's Kyle. He's gonna do his thing. But those are some highlights for me. So I guess Fullo, what do you have? If you have any highlights, what highlights you got?
All right, bro. We're gonna keep it real simple. You know what I'm saying? I like the Force because of Star Wars. He kind of knew how to drag people into that. Well, I ain't gonna cap. However, my
Faith
actual
Winnie,
highlights should probably
bro.
be. All right, so my actual highlights should probably be "Don't Wanna Fall in Love," "Summertime Soul 2." It's kind of weird, but I really didn't want to like really, yeah. I was like, I was really certain I was not gonna like that song, but
Yeah,
like that's one of those showcases where it's just like, look, bro, like you may not like the song, but like y'all know I can rap. Like I'm gonna give you like the rapping ability to where it's just like, all right, it's, like when he has a bar where he's like, most of y'all couldn't walk a mile in these vans. Most of y'all couldn't take
believe
1,000
me.
in my vans. Like it's he's there. Shout out to Yuna for All For You. I liked All For You more because of the production and Yuna. I'm a big fan of Yuna. She's an R&B artist. And so yeah, man, like I only had like 3 or 4 highlights, but the whole project for me, not to give away the goose, the whole project for me though was like pretty good. I can't lie. Like it's like, and I kind of know that about Kyle, where it's just like you can't really approach him in the same sense as you would approach like a regular MC because from the first time I heard him, it's more about the artistry. So it's like I knew there were going to be songs where he wasn't rapping that much. I knew there were going to be songs where it's like this is more of like an R&B vibe. I was like, it just depends on how it all comes together. So I gotta give him credit, like artistry wise. I didn't have like a lot of low lights, and this is an album. It hurts to say because it's putting one in Kofi's bag, but it hurts to say. But this is an album. It's getting saved. It's gonna be on the iPhone. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play this every so often in the gym, on the road. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Cheddar got one with this one. 40. What you think about it, big dog?
All right. Well, This is where it's going to diverge a little bit. Because for me, when I was listening to this album, all right, I'm not saying it's bad, right? But when I hear most of the songs and the way like everything's produced and the bubbliness, the almost the erratic nature of some of the production, just because like I think it was like the Force where like it has like a piano. There's a song that has like a piano sample, and it's just it's so disjointed from what he's doing. And I don't have a problem with it per se. It's more so that like as I listen to the album, I'm
Hey,
like,
hey, these are highlights, partner. Let's get to it.
no, 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 no. Hear me out, 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 hear me out. So it reminds me of what would be put into like a soundtrack, right? Like a lot of his songs feel like they could be put into a soundtrack. And then when I got into that mode, I started to like find the songs that I really did, which was like "Don't Want to Fall in Love" because like it's so erratic, but it feels like it's just like something that you could just like have playing in the background of like a climax to like a cinema or something. Like when like the guy like reaches his point, and if you're talking about like the point of this album, like this month's albums are about like mental health. It is a very like bubbly song, right? I like "Remember Me," and that's just because this is during like the era when Chance was like, I was a fan of Chance. So I really did
Yeah.
like "Remember Me." Um, and then I like "At Found Bay." Like I don't know why, it's just that the way it's done, that song is just so interesting. Is the best way to put it. But those are the songs I really liked. Really, yeah, like that song can hit me. Like it can hit or it can not. It depends on the day. Because some of these songs are like really long, and I'll be honest with you, like if they these would be good at 2 minutes for me. So that's it. No, I'm gonna go ahead and pass that off because
Slightly
we'll go into the
slightly
next.
unrelated, but Found Bay was actually a Twitter page that would just post pictures of attractive women. Just so you
Hey, hey, hey.
know.
It makes sense.
Okay, look, man, I
It
try to
makes
be
sense
nice,
though.
bro. Hold on. Let me go ahead and grab this shit. I try to be nice, bro. I try to be nice, bro. We gotta go ahead and let this shit go, bro. Here's my deal. Here's my fucking problem with fucking wherever the fuck word he just said. Look, bro, I don't. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't understand how you can kind of criticize, like, man, oh, it's kind of erratic, or oh, I can't like it because I had to get used to it being erratic. And I'm just kind of like, it feels like you had expectations of what this was supposed to sound like, and then you heard what it said. Because here's the deal: if you know anything about Kyle, if you haven't really listened to the albums and you just heard certain songs, you know that you generally don't know what to expect. Does that make sense? Like
Well,
like
no,
I
no, here,
can't just
let
assume
me explain it
that
this way then.
you
No, no, no,
had your time, you
because
had
I'll
your
say it like
time.
this,
Wait,
so I
you
can
had your
explain it better.
time. You had
It's
your time to
definitely when I
prove
listened to it,
yourself.
I could tell that Kyle has no
You had
idea
your
what his
time to get
sound
to
was
know
supposed to
yourself.
be. Kyle doesn't know what his sound
Disagree.
was supposed to be during this album.
Disagree.
Like he has a lot of times where you're just like,
I don't know. I think
you
about
have an idea because hold on, go ahead,
I think
we'll go ahead,
honestly.
we'll talk about it.
Huh?
Go ahead,
I feel like
go ahead.
we kind of had it figured out because he was he has some stuff before this, like
I feel like a lot of
so.
this album, like Jared or like Fuller or someone saying earlier, a lot of it sounds sort of kind of similar. Like, and he's kind of found his lane of like, I will do some singing on it, but I will throw some bars at you as well. And it's like I have a feel where like I want this album to sound kind of sort of like a game. Like that's why he throws in he might throw in little game sounds here, but they're consistently throughout the album where it's like if you want to maybe argue this is somewhat of a concept album, somewhat, and there's like maybe the concept kind of misses you some here and there, then like maybe. But I feel like to say he hasn't figured out what his style is a little. I don't know. I feel like he kind of has at this point, but I don't know. I don't know.
And that's why, once again, we're not gonna hone in on 40. I just throwing my, my sword, my flag on this part where I'm just like, I think that criticism is well valid, and it is your own, and you are a special star just like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? You have your own opinions just like everyone else in the world. I find that opinion by itself, that shit's some bullshit, bro. Like, there's none of these songs up here for me. None of these songs up here for me. I'm just like, I don't understand what he's doing. I'm just like, after you listen to the first 2 or 3 songs, you're kind of just like, all right, let me just sit back for this ride. Let me just sit back for this ride because I already know I don't know what to
um,
expect. I think it's
um,
because it's hip hop and it's made by a black person
all
that
right, all right,
Justin was
all
like,
right, all right, all right. So I feel like my likes on the song is he does that Drake thing where at the end of the song he'll change the whole beat and it'll feel like a whole new song. And in some cases that made the song better for me, so I get that. Something good that like my likes are Summertime Soul, Don't Wanna Fall in Love, Remember Me, All For You, and All Right. I mean, they you can vibe with them. You can play them driving. And they not negative for the most part. Like
You go.
Yeah, man.
it's all right. But I mean, this is a very bouncy, a very poppy album. I also appreciated that it was kind of quick.
Yeah, yeah. It's not too long. This is fair.
Oh, my bad. Woo. That's what's going on here. You said this was a pop. As soon as you said that pop, 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 you said that pop word,
it was
you
too
already know
poppy.
what Gordy going to.
Full up. It was
That's
too
why I didn't
poppy.
like it. I thought this album was too poppy. And which is fine, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I vibed to this album. This album's pretty solid. This is one of the few albums that we've done that I didn't suggest, no shade, that made my list, bro. Like the man up here cooking, bro.
I'm
I
saying,
can't sit here.
cooking in the
I
pot.
can't. And we can get to this on the ratings. I just find it kind of interesting that someone can listen to this whole album and be like, I don't think he knew what he was doing. Like, it's just like that little thing. Just like you cannot like what he did, but I don't think there's confusion as to how they approach the production. I feel like that's pretty consistent. I feel like it's kind of wild, but it's like wild with like a purpose in mind. Like
I can
he
see the
didn't go from like
argument
art.
for. I can see
Go
that
ahead, go ahead.
argument maybe going for like one or two. Like I can see maybe the argument for like, oh, really? Yeah, didn't really kind of that kind of came out of the left field. But like also if you kind of like you said, if you kind of know Kyle and how he is, he's gonna try something to try it and work it into his own system. I don't know.
But we'll
I
get to that. Hold on. We'll hold on. We'll get to that. I'm assuming we're passing back to Cheddar Moonlight, baby, for the low
The low
lights.
lights.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
Oh, hold up! Before we do that, I also feel like the introduction with the pew 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 pew. I feel like that was like it's like taking a shot at the beginning of the night. You know you're gonna get drunk. To kind of put in perspective, you know that he's gonna come up here with some cheesy
Yeah.
lines. It's gonna be, some might be some corny stuff. It's gonna be a fun album, and he kind of gets you with the pew pew. I'm just
Pew
like,
pew pew pew.
He kind
Why
of
I'm a,
you let
does.
us do
Kind of
my
does.
shit down?
but
I'm on fire. Yeah.
that was my last positive for that.
Everybody gonna die. But yeah, like no, yeah. I think it's a solid intro. I think intro tracks in general, I feel like are underrated on albums, but that's a conversation for another day. Um, low lights for me would be, I feel like if you don't like Kyle's style, Endless Summer coming right after Don't Want to Fall in Love, they do sound very similar. If you're not messing with the vibe, then I can understand. So maybe putting like another song in between those would have kind of, eased that little transition a little better for other people. Um, and if you don't like his voice, because I remember when I first started listening to him, getting over his voice was something that was kind of big for me because like he does have a little bit of a lisp. So if you're not familiar with it, then I mean that could maybe be a low light for somebody. But like once you get over that hump and realize what you're listening to is great. Uh, I don't really have too many low lights. I
I'm
really
gonna
enjoyed this
say
album a lot.
he's struggling, bro. He's like, hey man, I know I said this album, but I don't know what to think.
And even my low lights now are in perspective of other people, not my own really low lights. Like also another thing because like the gaming sounds on it and stuff like that, like the little Super Mario sounds and stuff like that. Again, if that's not what you're into, I can see somebody putting that as a low light. But like if you're into it, it works for me.
Yo,
But that's
yo,
probably all my low lights.
shut
So
up.
Follow,
Let me,
pass it your way behind the back.
hey, yo, okay, here's my deal, bro. I only got two low lights, and one of them is only for placement. So also appreciate you giving us a short album. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Shout out to all the short albums. You know what I'm saying? We don't
yeah, man.
need,
It's a little bit easier to
hour and
digest.
45 minutes every time, Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? But it was two of them. It was what was it? It was Do What It Does. It was Do What It Does. It was all right. And here's the reason why. Do What It Does because of placement. Do What It Does was more towards the beginning. It would have fit that. Like, it's kind of weird to almost end the album on that. It's kind of weird. And I just didn't like All Right. It's not like a huge
Mm.
deal. It's not like a huge, like, oh man, it was because of the production, blah blah. I was just like, this is an interesting choice to include on this project because like before then, this project is going very very smooth. Like I wouldn't give this like album like A+ for song placement. It just kind of because it doesn't seem intentional. It seems like it kind of came together. So I wouldn't give like A+ for song placement. I'd probably give like a B. But like when it comes to like all right, it's one of the few. It's the only song up here where I'm just like, I don't know if this should have been on this project. Like this seems really strange for this to have been on this project. Do what it does. The only problem I have with that, again, it's just placement. It should have been earlier in. So I'm looking at the track list right now, right? I would have put "Do What It Does" probably somewhere around "Really Yeah," maybe after the interlude. So it's like you do "Really Yeah," "Deepest Part of Me" interlude, and then "Do What It Does." I feel like that would have been fine. But that's pretty much it, man. I don't really have too many lowlights. Once again, it's 12 fucking songs, big dog. I mean, if you got more than two
Well,
or three lowlights, you hate the album. So go ahead. Let's see what you
2013,
got,
buddy.
40. Let's see what you got, 40.
I think I agree with you, man. About like you, like it's like when you come. All right, so here's the problem that I have is that I can't really, and this is something that Kofi alluded to. If you're not used to the album, a lot of stuff starts to like. There are songs that can blend together, especially because of how seamless he kind of puts things on a back to back, or he puts like he sometimes will put like interludes into like his songs without really letting you know. So like there's times where like things will just change. And so you slowly, like for me, I listen to this album a lot. Like I listened to it every time I was driving. As soon as we got off the air, I was listening to this last week, and I started from just Monday, like Sunday to whatever, right?
Thursday,
There are
Friday,
times where
Saturday.
I like here's the problem, right? Endless Summer Symphony to Summertime Soul. I can't visualize which song is which,
Yeah,
and it's annoying the shit out of me.
yeah.
Like I can tell you "Don't Fall in Love" because that they say that so many times that if I was wrong, that's my own fault, right?
Yeah.
Really, yeah, that you can pick that out of a lineup. You see here, really, yeah, and you're like, okay, he's saying really, yeah, okay, boom, done. Found Bay, I actually just liked it, so I could figure that out. Once you hear Chance the Rapper, you just see Chance the Rapper, and you're like, okay, I know, remember, right? Super Duper Hero, I don't think I liked. Like, I think it was just corny. Like, I feel like for me, I just was like kind of cringed a little bit. I was like, ah, and that's not really fair to the song. That's just me innately saying that a little cringy for me.
But see,
But
that's the point. That's the point of Kyle. Kyle's gonna make a cringy song, but like as long as it's something he fucks with, he doesn't care. He's
yeah,
gonna
no,
I'm gonna
I,
make
I
I'm gonna
think
make the
I think
song with
that's
all
I
these.
think
Wait. I was literally just about to say that. When you listen to a Kyle project, I've listened to like two or three before. There's going to be one or a couple of songs where it's just like his corniness, like that shtick, doesn't land. And it's just like, oh no, this is just corny. Like on his face, like for instance, I'll give you an example. On his face, I Spy shouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it does because it's like you have Yachty who's like ascending at that point. You have Kyle who like, if you're not familiar with him, you're just like, who's this dude talking really nerdy? But it works. But
yeah.
no, like when you have that type of style, there's gonna be some songs that are not gonna land. So I mean, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I understand
No,
that.
I like that Spy, and I like the way that his lyrics sometimes were like the way his verses were comprised. It's like no, he's smooth even though he has corny lines sometimes, but it works in the fact that he's so confident that it comes across as even though it's kind of corny, it works. And to your point, right? Like there's not like a lot of songs on this album that are like you just hear them and you're like oh these are bad. Like just like throw them in the garbage can. You don't need them. No, they work for the album. I don't like The Forest that much. But I don't think it's a bad song. It's 3 minutes. It's fucking boom, boom, boom. You're on to the next one, right? But I think here's what I'll say. This album, listening to it, I was like, man, if what was it across like Into the Spider-Verse 3 comes out, they could use most of the songs on this album, and I don't think it would hurt that out like that movie at all. And I don't think that's a negative thing to say. I think that's just
Oh
for
no,
me.
no, this album you could take like a couple songs from this album and make a Spider-Man soundtrack. So I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
100%.
I will say two things. One was you reminded me of why I don't like the next album that he drops that much. It's because Lil Yachty is literally all over it as the narrator. He takes the narrator aspect of that album, and I don't know why, and it bothers me so much.
no, that I can see that.
And then another thing is,
Hey,
I I
hey,
remember when I first discovered this album, like I would frequently mix up "Summertime Souls," "Don't Want to Fall in Love," and "Endless Summer Symphony" because they are back to back to back, and two of the songs mention summer in it. So it's like
Yeah,
it took me a while to kind of get them straight when I was first listening to the album way back when. But yeah, so I feel your pain, Justin.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
think,
kind of
but other than that, like, I'll go ahead and pass the rock back, inbound it back in play,
woo.
give it a woo to start the playmaking again. Go ahead, brother.
hey, if y'all just now joined the live,
If you're just now tuning in,
hey, shout out to the day ones, man. Shout out to the folks that's joined us, been with us, watch us every Sunday. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all real MVPs. But also shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus. Shout out to Jesus.
Shout out to
Do
Jesus.
what
Shout out to my boy J Dog.
it does. Do what it does was one of my lives. It was just too cheesy for me. Um,
Does it change anything knowing that it was super duper Jesus and not Jesus?
if anything, it makes it even worse. I don't even. If it was Jesus for real, I'm like, all right, man, he can slide into a church or something, and he can get some money off of it. Nah, I definitely ain't trying to listen to this shit now. Um, I thought at Found Bay, I feel like that was too much Drake, like with a list to it,
Ooh,
which kind of got
yeah,
annoying.
yeah.
Um, not the list part, but the Drake part. Man, what happened to this nigga? Hold on.
And even the at part, like the way that was done, that does feel like a Drake thing to do. Like,
But it's because of the Twitter account apparently. Which I never
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I tried
But
to
I
find it
mean,
now. It's gone.
well, we're waiting
But
for full. If we could double to the music videos and also the album art,
Let,
right?
let me get right, bro. I'm still working. I'm still working.
All right, go
Um,
ahead, go ahead.
another
Why don't get
thing that
interrupted?
got me was the fact that this is more so a summertime album,
it
but it was
is.
dropped in October.
Yeah.
That terrible year placement. If you drop that like in like May or something like that, you kind of got you some
Pop.
summertime hits that can probably pop that. I mean, it would sound good, summer nights, all types of stuff. But those were the the main misses from me. I feel like the bad parts of the album were bad. They were cheesy. The good was danceable. It was vibeable, and the mid was mid. So everything kind of layered itself out. It just depends on how you perceive each song. It depends on how good you think this album is.
Yeah. I will
Well, I
say,
think
I guess maybe they might have planned it that way so that the singles would be hitting in the summer, but still, it should have been more like the album should have hit for the summer. It was clearly a summer album.
It
I
was
don't know.
really a summer album, but he was like, "Let me drop this shit in October
Yeah.
when it get cold."
all
I'll
right,
make it hot.
man.
Make it hot in the winter.
Look, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming in kind of hot because I don't know exactly what was said. Or, I had a little technical difficulties, all that. You know what I'm saying?
In the trash.
However, it feels like Woo, it came on the tail end of that. It feels like Woo's going at Kyle for when he dropped the album and for some of the things being mid.
What do you think about contest clues?
Also, I ain't like really either because I feel like it sounds like Electric Zoo from SpongeBob. It's like a real popular song. Mr. Krabs was in the office. He was like, "What's that beat beat boop bop song?" And it was like a robot
yeah.
song. That's
First of all, wait, let's be clear. First of all, it doesn't sound like that. But the problem is, I
it
can see
do,
how
man.
you get there.
Hey, go listen to that joint.
Wait. I can see how you get there, and that's mad disrespectful. So that's one. Two, I'm gonna go ahead and be real with you, bro. I want to get into the ratings because I got something to say. I'm gonna hold off until the ratings. You want to get into the ratings right now, Cheddar? That's what's about to happen.
Hold on,
Yeah, man.
can you explain how you keep changing your background color? Because I could have sworn it
Hey
was
man,
blue.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Is
It's
this
hot. I
the
don't know what you want me to
real
tell you.
polo? I don't believe it.
I know what you want me to tell you, and I'm about to throw a filter on. There we go. You know what I'm saying? Tone it down a little bit. All right, Cheddar, it's back on you, big dog. Cheddar, give us your rating so I can go in on these fuck boys.
that, that, that nigga Fuller look like that nigga Fuller look like the Black Uncle Fester.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
But yeah,
Come
okay.
on,
Hey,
Cheddar.
my rating for this album, my rating would be, I give it a solid A. I give this Kyle, for me personally, it was a solid day. I go to it frequently. Like I said, don't want to. There was a point in time where I was playing "Don't Want to Fall in Love" daily for forever. I
It's
go back
never
to it a
left
lot.
my rotation.
It is literally never left. I think I had it on my Tinder page at one point. Like it's never left. It's always been around.
Which
But
song was it? Was it "Don't Want to Fall in Love"?
yeah, it was "Don't Want to Fall in Love."
Greetings, gentlemen. Go ahead, let's go.
But yeah, it's I love how he's
Hold
unapologetically himself.
hold on.
Huh?
Hey, Full hit that shit again.
Greetings, gentlemen. I was like, oh.
Hey, chill. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna pull up outside. Pull up.
It's all love.
I
I
see.
promise it's all
Hey,
love.
Fullo. Are you itching? You got eczema? Are you itching for these hands? You got eczema or something, bro?
What? Really? Are
What?
we out here doing
Okay,
this?
we gotta give a quick shout out to Cheddar because I've never heard that before. It's like, hey, oh no, oh my god, have you been diagnosed with eczema? It's like, no, this is funny because you seem to be scratching.
You seem to be itching for these hands. And I will also say, I'll have to shout out to Kyle because I actually got that from Kyle. But anyway,
Oh, I was about to be like, why is it so corny now? And then I was just, then he explained it. He explained it all. All right.
but no, I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, solid A. Yeah.
Shout out
Shout out
to
to
Fuller,
50
Yo,
what
go
would
ahead
you
and
rate this?
pass it on to the food
What
man.
would you rate this,
Come
Fuller?
on, man.
hey, this
Food.
nigga throwing out ad-libs and shit. Shout out to the A. Yeah.
Yeah.
to
All
Atlanta.
right, so here's the deal, man. I'm going to be honest with you. So Cheddar gave it an A. I'm gonna give it an A minor. I'm gonna give it an A
Oh,
minus. I'm gonna be real. This was like actually a surprise for me because I went into this with like, oh, here comes Cheddar with this like bullshit ass positive rap. And as y'all know, you know what I'm saying, y'all. If y'all know me personally, or y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all fucked me in the past, or you know what I listen to. You know what I'm saying? It's
whoa.
all about a whole bunch of gang shit over here, right? However, I was like, here comes Cheddar with all this positive shit. It hit, man. I can't even lie. And probably part of that is probably because I'm like a Kyle sort of fan.
Yeah.
Like I've been keeping tabs on him for the past like 5 or 6 years. But I had never heard this album. So it was kind of interesting going back and listening to this. He's really fly, bro. Like once again, I will always give it up, pause, for like people who can rap. Like guys who can rap and everything, whatever. You get on the fucking track. I don't really care what the rest of the shit sounds like. You can rap. It's like I gotta hear you out. He can rap. Um, and the subject matter is not 100% for me, but I appreciate the artistry. I appreciate the verbiage. I appreciate all of that. So, and this is where I go off script. You know what I'm saying? This is where it gets really violent in this motherfucker. All right, you know what I'm saying? So here's the deal: niggas like 40, niggas like Woo. I don't even know y'all rating yet.
All right.
And here's the deal.
My turn.
Mute your shit, bro. Mute your shit. You about to get all
Uh,
these bars. So here's my deal.
all right. So 40,
People
what's your
like 40, you know what I'm saying? People like Woo. They like 40 probably gonna do this thing, but he's probably gonna be like, well, I didn't like it, but I give it a B plus. I ain't trying to hear all that shit, bro.
Nah, it
This
wouldn't
is
have been a
12
B plus. It
songs.
would
If
be a
this is
B.
12
Spoiler
songs,
alert.
let me finish. This is 12 songs. You already acted like he's just
Hey,
so disjointed.
Kyle,
And he was
Kyle,
so
you know what's got
chaotic.
to happen to
And
this
I didn't
rating? It's
know
got to
what
go
to do.
down every time
And so
Fuller
I'm just gonna
speaks.
go ahead and be real with you,
Now
bro.
it's C
If
plus.
you listen to this album and you can't like
Now it's a
tap
C.
in with the artistry, you can't tap in with the lyricism, you can't tap in with any of that stuff, it's fine. Just say you hate black people, 40. It's okay. We would get it at this point. All right,
Kyle's
we get
mixed.
it. My bad, my bad.
Kyle's mixed.
Same, my bad, my bad.
Your whole
What
shit,
we should have done,
Your Honor.
is we should have gone onto iTunes, changed the name from Kyle to Logic, never told 40 that Logic was mixed. 40 would have came in here with a whole different review. And then it was so sporadic. I just had to really wrap my mind around how
all
chaotic it
right,
was.
40, what you got
Yeah,
for us, man?
I ain't
I don't
even
even know where
done
he's
yet.
going with it
Oh,
because he just like
wait,
if
wait.
we take
And I'm
let's take
not
one mixed
even
kid
done
That's all right.
and
yet.
turn him into another
I'm
mixed
not
kid.
even done yet. Will you about to get yours too?
We gotta do this on
40. What
Zoom
you
next
got
week so we
for
can
this
mute. Hold
nigga,
up.
man? Take
And
the
so
Yeah,
for
time.
you to
we're gonna need to
go,
mute this man.
and
We
for
gotta do
you
this on
to go
Zoom so we can mute his
to
mic.
ain't no mute on my
Yeah.
mic. Oh, so let me get this straight. I saved my criticism for everybody else until the end, and y'all gonna try to silence
Man,
me.
we
Save it to
still
the
So,
very end.
All right,
rating
all
your
right. So
ass,
now,
all
so
right,
man.
now, so now since
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Charles
Y'all want my
Barkley had to
voices and
take all my
opinions. Go
time
ahead.
for my
Oh,
analysis,
these big
and now
women.
Charles Barkley done, bald head people stand up. But
San Antonio.
my album's a B. Like I would elaborate, but we're running out of time here. Kyle, no shade. I already explained most of it. It's not a bad album. Like you can bring this to your friends and be like, listen to this guy. You feeling down? We'll turn that frown upside down and think
Turn
about
that
talking to that girl
frown
you
into a smile.
like. Also, you know what? It's a B minus because I did notice that Smile is spelled with a YLE because it's Kyle. That's lame as shit. Fuck you, Kyle. There's no reason for that, man. Also, that album art was trash. B minus. I stand
Wow.
with that.
There's a lot of hate in your heart. I sense a lot of hate in your
I,
heart. Plus, he
I mean,
got a
I mean,
snaggletooth. That's his own mouth. He's
is that his
smiling.
real mouth? Damn,
Yeah.
yeah. Your mouth is trash. No.
They literally say in the songs, he's like, "Oh, fix your snaggletooth, motherfucker." It's like,
Okay.
oh, you're a hater, Justin. You're a hater. You're a hater, 40.
That's. I
Now I
mean,
want to
And on
go
Kyle
ain't
ahead and
nothing
point
49 more
new.
out.
days.
I want to go ahead and point out, even though y'all trying to silence me, I was 100% right on what 40 was going to give this album. I just want to point that out. But go
That's
ahead,
fair.
Hey, you said I was gonna give it a B plus. That was not gonna happen. And I didn't say anything else. Go ahead. We'll finish this up.
All
Finish
right.
him.
I give it a B also.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, that's
overall,
better than I
I feel
thought.
like okay. Overall, I feel like it's not a bad album. The good is good, like I said. It's danceable, it's
mid is
vibable,
fine.
and I pulled that off. I feel like the mid is mid, and the cheesy is cheesy. So
Hey,
I mean,
that's why they call me
it,
Chip.
it, it put me on the higher end of the middle of the road.
I like my shit extra cheesy.
I see where he gets it from, man. Kyle, this is all your fault. The man, the man could not save him from this, man. What the? Now, the more we do
I
these
will say,
album reviews, man, the more we learn. The more.
I will say, Justin is my only surprise review. Actually, no, I'll say Justin. I say 40 and Woo were both surprising reviews for me. Because Woo I thought would go maybe a little bit lower, and 40 I thought you would go a little bit higher. I mean, he's talking about Japan. He's got Asian girls all over the album.
You know what it is?
There's anime
So, like,
references and
they have a
everything.
part. All right, so
He's
they have a part
mixed.
where like they really remember. When he sampled like the girl, like the little girl going like "Yata, yata."
Yeah, it's
I'm
from
just
an
like, bro.
anime.
I know what he's talking. I know what he even references, right? Like I know the sample that he's using.
It's
I'm
waiting
just
for
like,
you.
bro, you just okay. So
The
the problem is
song is
like
all for
Kyle sometimes just like
you.
even Kyle as a nerdy guy who loves music, right? He's just picking shit off the trees and just putting it down and going like, I like it,
But he's
guys, and I'm
not
just like,
though.
you
It's stuff
motherfucker.
that he likes.
I
Man,
know, but
god
it's like
damn,
I
this
just feel like
sounds like
you
that.
motherfucker.
It was crazy. You know what's crazy? This kind of sounds like that Animal Collective album, where it's just like they weren't part where they weren't part of that genre, but they nitpicked what they thought sounded good, and they threw a bunch of shit up there. And then I was told, you know what I'm saying? I was told that hey, man, they're not pop, they're experimental. And that's what I was told.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? That's not
I'll
even
say it like
me.
this. I'll say it like this. Not only was I not surprised about that Animal Collective album, but we don't even need to bring it up again because it's not gonna change, man. You either give a fuck or you won't. It's just like
I'm
Kyle.
saying,
Like
man.
if you like this style of music, you're not gonna like it. Go
Oh,
ahead, go ahead,
let's
go
be
ahead.
clear. Wait, let's be clear. I'm not asking you to defend it. I'm not even rehashing the score. What I'm saying is you essentially transparent. You criticize Kyle for quote taking shit and just throwing it up there and being like, well, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And then you also said it was kind of sporadic. These are the same things that if people were to go back and listen to the Animal Collective album, you said that it was as well, but
Yeah.
you were like, you liked it.
No, because all right, let me explain something, right? Animal
Hold up,
Collective.
hold up. Hey,
Go ahead.
shout out to my, you know what I'm saying? Since we got family all over the
Hey,
place. Hey, shout out to my cousin.
What's going
shout
on,
I,
cousin?
out to the family.
Connie
That's what-
Bun.
All
Connie
right.
Bun, what's going
I will
on,
say, man,
cousin?
that's all Kyle stuff. They literally get on stage wearing Super Saiyan suits or wearing Saiyan
Yeah,
outfits and
okay,
dancing on
I
stage.
will say this album sounds like it would be better live because I can
Live
tell
definitely.
that this album was designed for it to be live. Like you can kind of just feel it. Like he likes the production. He likes to do all that shit. So like
That's
for
what I
me,
just said. I was like, it's about the artistry for him. Like it's the entire thing. It's not just the rapping.
yeah,
It's not just the
yeah,
flow.
yeah.
It's
I didn't
about the
disagree with that.
artistry and how it comes
No
together.
one,
And
no one disagrees with that, buddy.
once again, I'm happy that you came over and you saw the light. You know
No,
what
no,
I'm
no. I'm
saying?
just saying
Same
that
thing
you're
with
not gonna like Animal Collective because, like, okay, the Animal Collective album. When I say like they're experimental and they're just throwing shit, it's because I can hear that they threw shit, but they had other shit that they were probably throwing, and they took that shit off. They were constantly looking at it. So it's like to most people, it's like fucking just atrocious noise. For me, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. That's fine.
I will
It's
say,
kind of like
you know what's crazy? That's how I feel about this Kyle album.
I will
oh,
say,
it's
trust me,
fine. That's
an
music,
example of
man.
that. I will say an example of that. Like don't want to. No, was it don't want to fall in love? No, I
That's
think
how
it's
I
Endless
feel
Summer
about this
Symphony
Kyle
was literally.
album. Come
Yeah, that's crazy.
on now. It's
But I will
over.
say, because it was either Don't Want to Fall in Love or Endless Summer Symphony. It was a song that was produced by somebody else. Then they had M Phase, another producer, come in and redo the entire track. So they were listening to it and they made adjustments and went and redid it again. Like even Remember Me is a song that originally I don't think Chance was on it. They're like, you know what? We need some extra stuff on here. Let's throw Chance on this album. And then I do have a correction actually. It's unrelated to any of that though. But man, I did say the first Kyle song I heard was Remember Me. I just remember that's actually technically wrong. The first Kyle song I heard was off that Free Chance album when he had that band, the Donnie Trumpet and the Social Experiment, and
Boy, on the low, fire album.
it
On the
was a fire
low,
album. It was a
fire
fire
album.
album. But Kyle was on that album. It was on a song, ironically, with Big Sean. So you see, my circle is real.
Big Sean,
It's real tight.
me, Kyle, everyone from SoundCloud. Everybody
But
came
the
from
problem
SoundCloud.
is,
That's what
It's like the Cheddar pocket. It's like Chedda's like, hey Cheddar, name 4 of your favorite rappers. And he's like, it's funny, they're all on the same song.
we're literally from the same era, man. They all grew up together. They're all from the same crew.
Look, man, look, we gotta go ahead and wrap this up a little bit for Boost to give
wrap
the, you know what I'm saying,
it
the
up,
introductions and
wrap it
everything.
up,
I just want to go ahead and point out
wrap it up.
Kyle, Smile, solid
Hold on.
album,
Time out.
2015.
Time out.
140.
I got a question.
You already just said
I
too
got a question
much.
for Cheddar.
Kyle, Smile, solid album. We gave it an A minor. Woo and 40 gave it a B plus. Solid album overall. And once again, when y'all tune in, when y'all look at this on the YouTube or the
The
Instagram, I
tube of
want
you.
y'all to, hey, don't be afraid to call 40 out. 40 hates black
All
people
right,
music,
man. I'm not,
Hey, before we go into that, I just want to say I want to give a shout out to all the rappers that rap as if they're gonna put their hands in their like put their hands in their pockets and talk bashful to girls because I feel like that's what Kobe like. I feel like all these rappers be like, "Excuse me, miss, I just wanted to
Oh,
say
shucks.
you're my favorite girl I ever seen today." Like I feel like that.
Bars, bars. Oh, you know what? Another thing for y'all, just go and check out I Doubt It by Kyle. That's a single that never dropped on any album, but it's fire. Go check that one out. Go check out Doubt. That's another Kyle Fire single. Go check out I Spy. Go check out Playing With You or Playing With Me, the song with Kalani. That's another fire joint from Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, investigate his discography, because there's some fire out there, man. It's super duper. It's a super duper songs. I don't know.
You
Are we
know,
supposed to yell Kyle's name because it's all caps?
Kyle, Kyle,
I'm, I'm,
Kyle,
All
Kyle.
caps. Can you spell the man's name?
Oh,
I'm,
I thought you were doing a
I'm,
chat. My
I'm just
bad.
gonna throw it out there that Fulo also gave Animal Collective a B, and
so,
and Justin gave Smile a B before he changed it to a B minus,
I
and
rest my case.
we
Hey,
are
look, man, I'm consistent, bro.
same concept for 2 different songs. This is what the album review club's made of.
The
That's
boy
music,
is
baby.
consistent. Oh yeah, the boy. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, boy. The boy is consistent. See, 40 think it's personal. It's not. I'm more tapping in on the fact that 40 hate black people music. It's okay. If Animal Collective was all
Oh,
black, 40 would hate their music.
oh.
40 would
Well,
be like, I just
let's go
can't
ahead. Let's go ahead
believe
and let me bring up
all these
my favorite.
jigaboos got their hands on some
Hey,
guitars and drums
hey,
and ruined rock and roll.
hold on. Let me. I forgot to go and talk about the album I'm gonna pick. Then,
Oh yeah.
guys. So
Wait, I don't think it's your
obviously,
turn. I don't
No,
think it's your turn.
it is. It
is
is.
it not?
I don't think so. Hey, Woo, can we get a check
Hey,
from the podium?
Hold on.
well, if it's not my turn, I was just gonna
It is.
say, I picked a guy who really does not care about black people. He's one of those. Whenever I'm depressed, I listen to him because I know that he does not like black people. Like that's
Keep
straight up.
rolling,
Like that's
rolling,
why I picked him.
rolling.
His name's Gil Scott Heron, and it's Pieces of a Man. That's one of my favorite albums, and that's whenever I'm depressed, I love that album. So that's what I'm
Pieces of a
picking.
Man.
Pieces of a
Oh, my bad.
Man by Gil
Oh,
Scott
my bad.
Heron.
My bad. We on the apology tour right now for 40.
This
He trying to say
What's
things.
his
motherfucker.
All
name?
right, go
This
ahead. Yo, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Gil Scott, go ahead, big
motherfucker.
dog.
Jill Scott.
Hey, Jared. If it's less than an A, you'll also hate black people, and then we'll all know the truth that you've been projecting this entire time.
Wait. Did you say Jill Scott?
We're gonna call you Uncle Ruckus from now on.
There's a lot of things going on right now on this live. I just want to point out that one, 40's making jokes that are not landing. That's typical.
Hey,
Ignore it. Keep it going.
hey.
Wait. And then the other side is that Chedda actually doesn't know who Jill Scott or Gil Scott is
I know who
spelled
Jill
for.
Scott is.
Gil
I don't know
Scott. No,
Jill Scott. I
wait.
know Jill.
No, let me finish. Gil Scott Heron is, which is fine. You're gonna find out this week.
He's
And then
Canadian.
me and Woo are just sitting back, being like, "Look at them, look at these bulls."
Hey,
Oh.
Back. We taking it back.
Yeah, I'm probably good. But yeah, we'll see.
hey,
Wait, and then we're gonna say Kobe doesn't like Americans.
I mean, listen.
hey, he's Gil Scott Heron's from New York, so Kobe, be careful.
Also, shout out to
He's
Ketchup Chips Everywhere.
Bruh, them
damn.
chips is trash.
You a hater.
That's not it, big dog. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. My bad. Hey, if you're just now tuning in, this is a part of the live. You know what I'm saying? You missed most of the album review, but it's all good. You can go back and watch on the YouTube or, of course, Woo's page. This is the part of the live where we kind of get real relaxed because it's post review and we start talking about all this nonsense that happened during the live. So if you missed on the live, this is the short synopsis.
Kofi brought a
40
fire
hates
album
black.
today.
Wait.
End of
40
story.
hates black people. 40 also doesn't expect for black people to be creative, and when black people are creative, 40 is like, it's really sporadic. It's really all over the place. Cheddar's
Oh
on
my
this whole like Lay's potato chips, salt and vinegar mixed
Ketchup.
with ketchup. It's
Ketchup.
weird, bro.
Straight
And they
from
It's
try
weird.
Canada.
And like,
Straight from
here's the deal:
Canada.
if you know me and Woo personally, you know we most of the time chill. This is just the other side of us. This is us in our friend group. You know what I'm
Has
saying?
anybody ever known Philo to be
when does
chill?
Fulo
hey,
chill?
I've
When
been
does Fulo
Ever.
literally was giving? Oh, go ahead.
I've been chilling.
He's
I
We
gotta
You
say.
chill
you
the
chill.
whole
never been
time
chill.
too, bro.
Fulo never chilled.
You see,
Fulo was ready to
I want
go
y'all to
and
look. I
bash
want y'all to
you
look.
without
Wait.
hearing what you're about to say.
If you can, right now, zoom in on 40's face. You see how disgruntled he is to see black men chilling. He's
Hey,
like, these lazy bums.
hey, I'll say this. I'll say this. If you zoom in on Fulo's face, you'll think your screen just messed up because you can't see nothing.
He don't even tell
There
me
it
to
is.
sleep. Okay?
There it is. See, once again, all you gotta do is sit back and let the racists come to the forefront. They will reveal themselves. Shout out to 40. He did an early mail-in ballot for Trump. Yo, let's go ahead and get it, big dog.
I'm
Well, hold
Amen.
on.
saying though,
Hold
where
on.
in America do you find chips? These round, these fully formed. Your chips don't look like this.
Hey, pull out another
This
one.
man's on his soapbox today, bro. Holy
Pull
shit.
out another one.
Wait. I'm mad that Jenna's trying to act like this is like it's a Canadian made product. It's still made in America.
Yeah.
Yo, no. Simply Ashley says when he's asleep. Look, man, I feel like I don't know exactly what that's in reference to. I'm just gonna assume that it's in reference to 40 when he does like white people or black people.
But
40
he does
likes black people
like
in
white
his
people.
dreams. Hold on, 40 likes black people in his dreams because he's like, look at all of them out there working those fields. Just how it's supposed to be.
Amen.
Wait. The only reason he likes Gil Scott Heron is because it goes back to the 60s when niggas ain't have no rights.
I'm just mad we're not listening to Jill.
Yeah.
In the
What's
60s.
wrong? What's wrong? You
I really
see,
wanted to listen to
that's
Jill.
the little dichotomy that y'all don't see behind the scenes. Y'all don't see behind the scenes just like we all cool, we family, we love each other. We just got a racist in our crew. I gotta call it out. He racist, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Cap, I hate all of y'all.
We got a racist in the crew that
All
hates
right,
himself because
we
he's
got
half
about
mixed.
that.
Hold on. We got Cheddar in here who hates Americans. We got Woo who actually don't hate nobody. He's just doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to do his thing. And then me, you know what I'm saying? When the next war popping off? You know what I'm saying? You know,
We got a
big
guard
time
head
slow right
with a bowling ball head.
now. All right, well, bring us home, big dog. Get
Oh
us
my
out of here, big dog.
god. Oh my god.
Gil Scott Heron.
I always wish it was Jill Scott.
It's
That's just.
not Jill Scott.
She's gonna come in with a
I'm just
whole
saying. I wish
different
it was.
album. Like, yeah, her voice wasn't that good on those albums. Like,
I don't know
yo,
what
yo,
Jill Scott these
Chad
days,
about to
but
listen to a completely different album and be like, yo, you guys didn't like the Walker in the Park? It's like, no, that wasn't on the album.
Like I was saying, Gil Scott Heron, Pieces of a Man, Straight Out Entertainment. The
Hey
album is
Justin, how many pieces make up your man?
Oh,
someone get those chips away for a little bit. He turned into a whole different person. Those apparently the ketchup chips are just like demonic.
what? What's the equivalent for drunk? But when you eat a whole bunch of chips that taste like ketchup.
and
He's on something, man.
Oh, hold
Them
on. Big
toxic
shout
chemicals.
out to Corella the Trill. You know what I'm saying? The
Hey,
realest of the real. Been tuned into almost every single live. We appreciate the
hey.
support. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst part is that she's had to watch 40 get bad review after bad review after bad review. It's like, I'm sorry,
Hold up.
Corella, we trying to do better, but he don't know no better. All right,
Did
you
I
say
not?
it's
Did I
A
not
plus.
review? Did I not give Man on the Moon an A plus? That's what
Whoa, 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 whoa,
selected
whoa,
reading.
buddy,
So he
whoa,
said it was a
calm
bad
down. Put down
review,
the
guy.
gun, Jamal.
So
Put
no
down
no
the
no no
gun,
no
Jamal.
no
Calm down.
nope. Man on
Justin,
the
change
Moon's a
your
bad
rating.
album. Man on the Moon's a bad album. That's what he
You
just
It's
only
said.
like
gave
you
Man
change
on
your
the
rating,
Moon an A
Justin.
plus because Man on the Moon suits or astronaut suits are white. He loved it. He was like, "Oh man, this is a white man made this album."
The moon's made out of cheese, and everyone knows cheese can be colors of white.
so
So it's
quick.
obviously the best.
So far, what is the worst album we reviewed?
Oh, easily the Gorillas album. Easily the Gorillas album.
I,
This man chose.
I
This
got the
man
rating.
looked
I got
at
the
one.
ratings in
Hold
front of
on.
me.
This man looked at one of the most legendary contemporary rock slash pop rock groups of all time and said, "Let me find the worst shit they put out. Let me go search it."
And I got the ratings in front of me just in case y'all don't stand on the bullshit y'all say.
Oh,
So
I stand on
what's
it.
the worst album we've done?
Go ahead, 40. Go
Which one
ahead,
is it?
fuck boy.
It's on
I mean,
Cheddar.
Based on our
No,
ratings.
like I mean, if you remember your rating for
I
it.
don't remember. I don't even remember these albums. To be honest with you, probably the Animal Collective one. That's one I like the least. I mean, I know it's an
I
album that
mean,
everybody. It's an album that's. Don't get me wrong. I saw the reviews for it, and people liked it. People really liked that album. Me personally, I
yeah,
didn't like it.
mind
you know,
mind you, I
I'm saying
gave that
thing.
album. See, once again, in 40's memory banks, he thinks I hated that album. I just thought it was average to okay. I gave it a B. But to him, since I'm black, that's a D.
No,
I like
I'll say it like this.
Unknown Mortal
I'll say
Orchestra.
it like this. Yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
them.
And
I just bring out albums that are different. That's all good. If
and,
y'all,
and
See,
you either
no,
like
no,
it, you
we're
don't,
not
or you
gonna do
figure it
this.
out.
We're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this.
No, that's fair.
I listen to Gorillas. You're acting like, man, I've never heard Gorillas before. I hate this album. This music is garbage.
Have you ever
No,
heard of
it's that
Animal
album.
Collective? Have you heard of a Non-Mortal
It's
Orchestra?
specifically that album. That's like me being like, hey man, I really like Lil Wayne. What's the album you want to do from Lil Wayne? The last one he came out with. I don't know. If you guys love Wayne, that's the last thing that he
I'll
dropped.
say it like
And
this.
y'all will look at me crazy. Y'all look at me crazy.
hey, the
I
one with
mean,
two that bad.
Polygrove.
Yeah.
Oh, the 2 Chainz joint, that was fire. No one talks about it, but that was fire. That was a fire album. But no, man.
Should do Smash Mouth.
What do you think? Well, what was the worst album we've done so far?
Go ahead, 40, it's on you.
I mean, when you say worst, are you talking about like worst review or just
No, that
worst?
you thought.
That you
You thought.
felt was the worst one.
The one that I didn't like the most.
Big Sean.
Big
It's gonna be Big Sean.
Sean, yeah, Big Sean, yeah.
We,
Yeah,
That
that's
was that.
Big
But that
Sean
was
was
before we recorded. That was before we recorded. That was just
I
us talking. And I was just like, I hate this.
I picked the
clear.
wrong Big Sean album.
Let's be clear. He's right. It's like as hard as it is
uh,
to say he's right.
he was
Because
wrong. He was
40
dead
thinks
wrong.
because 40
He
thinks he
was
always brings like these
wrong.
like 40 thinks he brings these out of the world albums that like people like black people just can't wrap their head around. No. Let's be clear. Kofi chose a Big Sean album that I actually don't like. If he had
Yeah.
chose Hall of Fame, I would have been like, oh, the A minor, A plus, whatever. He chose Dark Sky Paradise.
Yeah.
That was fire.
I should have picked Undecided. Undecided I think is one of his best albums.
Undecided is kind of fire. Hall of Fame. Also, why does Hall of Fame get no love?
Wasn't it his first? That's probably why.
Hall of Fame was like his second, and Hall of Fame also came out like in the smack dab when we had like just graduated college.
Hold
It
on,
was
let me
a
change the
fire
conversation.
album.
I don't want to talk about Big Sean, man. That's the last thing.
From
That's
one
the last
that
thing I want to do on my Sunday is talk about Big Sean.
but
Let's go back
from one that we
to Kyle. Let's talk about another Kyle album.
nigga from one that we recorded. Which one did you not like the most?
I mean, the problem is like I didn't like Lauryn Hill's album, but I don't think it's a bad album. Like I know it's not a bad album, right? Like it's just I didn't like it. So there's a certain level to that. But I mean, like it is really just
Shea
Big
Butter
Sean.
Baby.
Like I really and I know like and then like when you start to add the qualifiers, it's like there isn't anything that I particularly was like.
Recorded.
I mean, I guess the T-Pain one maybe just because Ari Lennox was great.
But I think you didn't like Shea Butter Baby though, did you?
No,
No,
I thought
he liked it. He
yeah,
liked Shea Butter Baby.
because I wouldn't have liked
He gave it
I wouldn't have liked SZA without Ari Lennox.
See,
So like if
we're
Baby
helping
Baby
him.
did
We're
like
helping him grow.
yeah
We're helping him
no,
grow.
I mean like but like T-Pain's album. The problem is that T-Pain's album was so many songs that if you had taken stuff off of it, it would have been really good for me. But he fucked himself because he was like, I want Kofi to have 1,000 songs. Let's give him 1 billion songs.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was only like 15 to 16 songs. Though.
I think the regular one. I think I got the extended, which was like.
I think wait. 40, don't worry, because me and you were kind of like minds on this. I gave it a lower grade than you, though. I think what he's saying is it would have been better if it had been 2 or 3 songs. Should have been, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even have been out.
It was 20 songs.
That was like, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? And Woo was getting mad at me. Hold on, Woo was getting mad at me.
I'm not getting
Here's
mad
the
about
deal.
nothing.
That's the only album that we've actually done besides the Gorillaz album.
Fire.
Where it's really hard to like, I can't even go back and listen to it. Like, even if I'm wrong, I can't go back and listen to that album.
The shit fire.
Because that broke my heart. And then also, I want to point out that Chedda came back like a week or two later and was like, yeah, I went back and I listened to 3 Rings. Yeah, I might have underestimated 3 Rings. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's not that I underestimated. It's just there's a lot of disorganization that's going on with my experience with 3 Rings. I got a lot of unfinished tracks of my own that I had on the album that I didn't realize you went back and finished. And then Apple Music had shit all kind of fucked up. It's wild.
Y'all were wilding, bro. You and Woo were wilding when y'all
no. Wait. You need to go back and listen to what am I thinking about, Steve? What's that? Revolver. You need to go back and listen to Revolver because I know you haven't listened to Revolver. I know nobody listened to Revolver properly because the rollout was trash. He literally was like, "I'm quitting music unless I get 100,000 views on YouTube. I'm not gonna drop this shit."
We gotta give Chedda some room. He's spitting right now.
So
He's right about everything.
I don't think you've listened to Revolver.
No,
so I think you need to go back and listen to that.
Not only are you right about that, but the rollout was trash.
It was absolute trash.
At the time, I feel like Revolver had like when it came out, it's like there was like 3 different versions of it. And I was like, which one am I supposed to listen to?
He had 4 different singles that were never released on the album. 4 different singles that he just threw away. That song with Jeezy, Reverse Cowgirl, was fire. Threw that song away. I don't know why. He had problems going on with his label that he was trying to work out that caused a whole bunch of hiccups with that rollout that let people basically slept on that album.
Shut up, Bomb.
What were you about to say, 40?
I was just like, we gotta be careful because this is gonna turn into like a 3-hour podcast.
Flag
We're
on the
going
Wait,
play.
we're from like
hold on. We're at an hour and 13, and we're about to let Woo bring us home. Woo, bring us home. You know what I'm saying? Your face looking all moisturized. You know
This
what I'm saying?
one
Go
was
ahead, do your
all
thing.
for
take it to
you.
Go ahead
the
and do your
school.
thing, big dog.
Well, like I said 10 minutes ago, give give
What?
something, man. Straight Line Entertainment. Subscribe to it on YouTube.
Subscribe, like all
Wait,
that.
Yeah,
you said that? You said that 10 minutes ago?
probably about 10 minutes ago.
Really? Really? Yeah.